This is George Dionne for KNAC.com, and I'm here with solo artist and Alter Bridge guitarist, Mark Tremonti. Today we're talking about Mark Tremonti Sings Frank Sinatra. The album comes out on May 27th on Tremonti Music. This is a album meant to raise money for charity. The charity organization is Take a Chance for Charity. Is that a charity that you began and started?
Well, it's actually a organization that helps people raise money for charity. You know, it's not a charity in itself. It's just kind of an idea. The charity that we're raising money for is NDSS, which is the National Down Syndrome Society. Take a Chance for Charity is an idea. It's a movement to try to get other people to do a project that their fan base would never see come in to raise money for charity. So, spread the word, challenge your favorite artist to do something oddball to have fun raising money, because it's pretty much the green light to do whatever the heck you want to do because you're raising money for charity.
And you decided to do an album and cover Frank Sinatra, which I don't think a lot of Alter Bridge or Creed or Tremonti fans would expect from you, though I think you did a fantastic job. It probably helped that you know a lot of the Sinatra history, right?
Absolutely. I've read all the books. I've watched all the movies, read all the books. Yeah, I went way down the rabbit hole.
And one of your big motivators was raising money for the National Down Syndrome Society because your daughter has been diagnosed with Down syndrome, correct?
Correct. Yeah, she was diagnosed before she was born, and she's always right here. So I was obsessed with singing like Frank Sinatra about 3 years ago, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And I practiced nonstop just for fun. And then when we got that diagnosis, I was like, this obsession has a purpose to it, and I'm gonna try to raise money with this record, because Frank Sinatra himself helped raise over $1 billion for charity. So it's great to do this in his name.
You teamed up with a couple of members of Sinatra's band, band leader Mike Smith and guitarist Dan McIntyre. Were they familiar with your music?
They had to Google me. So I don't think they knew what to expect, but it was actually, I think it was about 15 people on this project, on this record, that had toured with Frank Sinatra. So it was quite an honor for me to share the room with them.
You had to get special permission by the Sinatra estate to cover these songs as well?
I had to get permission to use his name and likeness on the album itself. So it's, and that, I don't take that lightly, because it's a very difficult thing to do. They've people like Michael Bublé and Tony Bennett, they've previously given that privilege too. So it's quite an honor.
You sort of took a Hollywood approach this album, I think, in that you got into character. You got yourself in a nice suit to get down to the recording studio. Sinatra's guys gave you his chord charts, and they gave you the tea that Sinatra drank with the right amount of lemon. I mean, was that important that you kind of encompassed it that way?
Absolutely. I took out the earrings as well. I did my best to show that the respect that these guys deserve. I didn't want to come in there and not have done my homework and not play the part as best I could. So I did everything I could, from dressing the part to practicing nonstop to, just trying to learn all the history of each individual player as well.
Were there any challenges that you faced in covering Sinatra's music? Because, I mean, to the general ear, it doesn't sound super difficult, but there's nuances in there where I think the average person would have an issue.
Yeah, no, his phrasing is very difficult to replicate. That took a long time. As far as his vocal range, it suits my voice very well. His range is, felt right at home with me. There's some stuff where he goes super low, like in the song Wave that we do on the record. That was probably the toughest note to hit on the record. Usually people have a tough time going high, but Frank Sinatra loved to go hitting really low notes. So that was a fun one. I wanted to do that song specifically because of those low notes.
For the most part, you covered a lot of popular Sinatra stuff, but you did cover some deep cuts as well, and you kept most of the songs true to their original form with some embellishments here and there. Was it important to you that you wanted to do a perfect tribute?
I wanted to split it up about half and half. When I approached the band with doing our own versions of certain songs, they, just kind of said, let's do this one the way, Frank would have done it. Songs like Under My Skin and Fly Me to the Moon and Luck Be a Lady and a few others. But the Sinatra estate wanted to hear some new takes on these songs so they could, so we could get it played on Seriously Sinatra radio and they could get behind it. Because they had said, we don't want a song to come on the radio and people expect Frank to sing and somebody else sings because it's the same, layout. So same arrangement. So we took My Way and made it, lead it, with a nylon string guitar. We took the song As You and made it a swing version. We took All or Nothing at All, gave it a swing version. We took the Wee Small Hours and completely changed the vibe of that one halfway through in the bridge. And then I Fall in Love Too Easily, we added a rhythm section that wasn't previously there. So we took about half the record and changed it up as much as we could and kept true to the others.
The response has been pretty popular, and the album doesn't come out till next week. Have you already sold out of the first pressing of vinyl? You're on to the next pressing of vinyl. That must make you feel pretty good, seeming you're a heavy metal guy covering new territory.
Absolutely. I think people also want to, I think they like the fact that it's doing something good for the world. It's raising money for a good cause. And it's something that when they buy that record, they're not only buying it to listen to, they're buying it to help people. So it's a win-win.
Does the fundraising stop at the album, or are you going to have shows that coincide with this?
We raised almost $150,000 last weekend with 2 shows that we did. So it was, a huge weekend for us. I was lucky enough to get all my band friends that were over at my house in the last few months I showed them how to do some paintings. So I had Miles Kennedy and Scott Phillips from Alter Bridge and Brian Marshall from Alter Bridge and John Connolly from Seven Dust all come over and put them in the garage and had them all paint a painting with me. So we auctioned off those paintings and some of them went for, I think Scott Phillips' painting went for almost $7,000. So it was, a lot of our friends will buy these paintings just because it's, they would have donated the money anyway, but might as well have a nice painting to go along with it. So we did a lot of nice auction items. We had some items that were from folks with Down syndrome that have their own businesses would have donated baskets of what they do that we auctioned off. They get a lot of money for that. And, these tickets for these events raised a bunch of money as well. So it was a lot of fun.
Do you think that there could be a future in you for doing more stuff like this beyond just the Sinatra project?
Well, I really am pushing the Take a Chance for Charity thing. I think I want to just keep on chasing people down to do this and have other people chase down things that they might want to, I like the idea of having an artist go find a band that, say Miles Kennedy singing with, I don't know, Earth, Wind and Fire, something like that, but finding some of the existing, some of the guys that he could perform it with, the original guys. I think that would be kind of a fun thing, but it doesn't need to be music. It could be somebody painting a painting or somebody doing a magic show, whatever it is that raises a single penny for charity is a good thing.
Is anything else lined up for Take a Chance for Charity with other artists?
Yeah. I've got Larry the Cable Guy, a good buddy of mine who I recorded a song with him on one of his first records, and that record went platinum. So when he texted me about hearing this project, and he said how much he enjoyed it, and I said, I'm glad you reached out because I wanted to ask you if you wanted to do a Take a Chance for Charity project, and he was all about it. He's all excited about it. He's already got his song picked out, and he's actually teaming up with the same guys I teamed up with on the Sinatra arrangements. So he's not doing Sinatra, and I can't tell you what he's doing because it's a surprise. But I've also got Chris Daughtry talking about a really fun project that's going to be amazing. The Edge, the wrestler, him and his wife are going to collaborate on a project. Lone Star, the country band. I want to get for a variety of people. I don't want to just go for my hard rock friends. Steve Stevens also reached out and wants to do a project. So it's exciting. Once we get this record out, we can start focusing on other projects.
I think it's interesting you mentioned Edge. I'm a wrestling fan myself, and his wife, Beth Phoenix. Most people don't realize that Alter Bridge had the theme song, the first theme song for Randy Orton in the WWE.
Yes, sir. It's been such a huge help for us having that out there. If you look at Alter Bridge's streaming numbers, I think Metalingus has been our number one streaming song since it's been his intro song. So I think recently the only song that's beating Metalingus is his new song that he chose from ours, The Other Side, that he just recently started coming out to. So he has really been a help for us, and he's really helped spread the word for Alter Bridge.
That's right. He does his new theme song for the Judgment Day is an Alter Bridge song. I forgot.
Yeah, he's the man. So I'm excited to see his project. It's going to be fun. He's already told me what he wants to do, him and his wife want to do, and I'm excited to see it.
Excellent. Now, Frank himself wasn't just a singer; he was an actor. What's the future in acting for Mark Tremonti?
If you give me a cool movie role, I'm all about it. But I haven't had that. That's a tougher thing to knock out. I haven't had anybody knocking on my door to put me in a movie yet.
Oh, I would think somebody like Tromaville that did The Toxic Avenger would reach out to you in a heartbeat.
Man, The Toxic Avenger is one of my favorites from my childhood. I would never let my kids watch that movie, but I watched it for some reason when I was probably in 6th grade.
We all did. So beyond Mark Tremonti sings Frank Sinatra, you're heading out this summer with your Tremonti project, correct?
I head out on the end of this month for Europe until the beginning of July. I just finished in the studio with the new Alter Bridge record yesterday. We head out on that tour. I don't even know. It's October, I believe, but the record comes out October 14th. And then this record drops the 27th, and I'm going to be doing some shows, hopefully in September, and then hopefully some shows in December as well. So I want to keep this Tremonti Sings Sinatra project going in small little batches. I don't think there'll ever be a 5 or 6 week straight tour of it, but whenever I do another tour and it makes sense, I'll tag on, 5 or 6 Sinatra shows here and there as the year goes by.
When you do these shows live, do you have like the big orchestra behind you like Frank had and stuff like that?
We had 17-piece orchestra. Nice. Yeah. So it was amazing. The first show we did was at this great theater called the Abbey. So it was tough getting all those guys on that stage, but it was awesome. I think as we go forward, hopefully when we get out in September, we want to build the band shells, they call them, where trumpet one will sit behind his music stand, which is like a big box, like where he puts his chair, sits down, and it's you see it like on the Brian Setzer Orchestra or Frank Sinatra or Harry Connick. All these guys will have these band shells, and we also need to get a drum riser and a riser for the back tier. So the trumpets are in the back, and then the trombones and the saxophones. Right now, as you can see, is the saxophones because they're everybody's sitting level. So we want to make it so it's a nice 3D effect on stage.
Awesome. Would it be silly for me to ask if anything's going to be going on with Creed for the 30th anniversary that's coming up next year?
You never know. We just we're always getting offers. It's just a matter of recently we just got some offers, but speaking to management and agents, it's just crazy to be able to try to do a tour with one band, release a record with another band, and release another record with another band, and then do Creed in the middle of it. I don't think it serves the band right if it's just thrown together last minute in the middle of everything else. It needs to be, hey, Creed's coming up in 6 months. Go get your tickets. Let's prepare for this. Let's talk about it. Let's not just throw it in the middle of something. Next time Creed comes out, it needs to be a big look and not just a quick little thing.
Understandable. The new album is Mark Tremonti Sings Frank Sinatra. It's fantastic. I loved it. It sounded like I was listening to Frank Sinatra.
Thank you so much.
Raising money for a good cause. It's the National Down Syndrome Society through Take a Chance for Charity. And I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to knac.com about your latest album.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It looks like you got a party going on behind you right there.
I do have a party going on, but it's still a little early here on the East Coast.
I gotcha. Well, later on, shots for me.
You got it, man. Take it easy.
Awesome. You too. Take care.
I appreciate it.